Hello everyone, in this video tutorial we're going to talk about how to incorporate creative lines into the text. So the first way you can do is first let's go to the tab tool. You can also click T on your keyboard this is the shortcut key for our tab tool. So let's zoom in. I'm going to tap something like the cool. Let's holding the shift and drag to increase the size of the tab. So if you want to make it align in your artboard, you can go to align and try these tools to make them align with the artboard. So now you see the tag is located at the center of your top part. Yeah, so whenever we want to modify a text, the first thing we need to do is we need to expand the text. So the shortcut key for expand is Command-Shift-O. Another thing you can do is if you don't want to use the shortcut key, you can go to the object and hit expand. And I click OK. So this is the two ways you can expand your text. So for every time you want to modify the text, don't forget to expand it, because if you don't expand it, you cannot modify it. Like if you don't expand it, you can see when I click on the direct selection tool, there's no anchor point or the handles appear, so you cannot change everything or adjust your text. So when you click Command-Shift-O, you can there will be anchor point appear here, so you can drag the anchor point here. You can drag the handles to make an adjustment to the shape or the path of your text. Let's go back. Now let's select, right click on group. So my tab has been separated into different pieces. The letters could be moved separately, so make sure you're already doing this. And let's turn this tab into the outline mode. You can hit this icon, you can switch, like it means to swipe the fill and stroke. So now I'm doing the outline mode, so we just deselect, we make sure the fill is in deselect. We only turn on the color for the stroke. So here we got our text. So let's click on the C. So right now I want to delete this line and this line. I only want to keep the inner line and the outer line path, because we want to blend the two paths. So we want to delete this one and this one. So what should we do? What I'm doing is let's right click on the pen tool. I'm going to the add anchor point tool. I'm going to click on the path, then hit delete. Whenever you use the add anchor point tool to select on the path, click on the path means you are selecting this path. So the path is from this anchor point to this anchor point. This is a path and I click on it. That means I select the path and I can hit delete. The same thing happens with the arrow. Click on the path, hit delete. Click on path, hit on delete. So now So now you see for my four letters, so all the four of them has the two paths. It's combined by the two paths, right? The C, first path, one path, two paths. O is also one path, the two paths, one path and the two paths. So in that case, we can try to blend these lines. Let's click on the C. So now the path is not separate. So if it's not separate, we cannot blend it. What should we do is we right click and hit release the compound path. what's happening is the C has been separated into the two different paths. So let's select and go to the blend tool. We have practiced this many times in the class. Let's double click. So this time I want to give a smaller number. I will try 4 because the reason is you see the distance between the two paths is pretty small, right? So I want to give the number 4, and you can hit this path, hit this path. So now I blended my tab. The C has been blended. So let's do the O. The thing we need to do, let's right click and release the compound path. So make sure they're separate. If they're not separate, you're unable to blend them. Let's select both. So this time I still want to use the option, the specified step for, so I don't but this time I don't need to go back to set my blend options again, because I still want it to be blend with 4 steps. So I just simply click Command Option B on your keyboard. So for this O, the same thing, right click, release the compound path. You can also click on Command Option B to blend them. If you don't want to use the shortcut key, another thing you can do is, let's go to the object. Let's go to the blend. Let's hit make. So the both way. So if when you forgot on the shortcut key, so you just go to the menu. Yeah. So this time let's go to the object, blend. So the reason why I can't make my blend is I forgot to release the compound path. Right click, release the compound path. Make sure they are separate. Now we can blend. So this time we go back to the object. We go to the blend and we make. See, so now we got a blended line tab. So let's select all of them and go to the object and expand. So if you want to add a color to them, you have to go to object and select expand. So let's select the first letter. Let's give it a gradient. So remember when we talk about the gradient, we click here, right? So you can also click here. That's also the blend tool. So here is our blend color tool also. Let's click on this one. You see the C is blended with black and white color now. I want to change a color, so I double click on the grid slider. I pick a green color, so just any color you like. Double click on the black one, pick a color I like. So you can add the third gradient. As you see, when your the selection mouse change into the white, there is a plus mark beside it. So at this time, you can just click, then you add the third color for your gradient. So now I have 3 color blended here. So for the O, it's the same thing. You can change the color if you want. You can change another blended color for your design, just based on what you would want your design to look like. Okay, it seems like they're all orange. Okay, yeah, this one looks good to me. Let's go here, and you see there is different types with blend, liner blend, and radial gradient. You can try to see the difference between them. You can just switch the type to try different effects, to different outcome. So this is the first way we could blend our type. But for this function, for this technique, you could only be use something easy, like the form is easier, like the C, O, L, or S. So these types are formed with the it could be formed by two path lines, right? So like something more complicated, like the T, H, or A, something complicated, you may not use this function because it's really hard to blend. So if you want to use this technique, just choose some simple tab. So the second way we could modify the lines in our texts is so for this time we can type anything you want. So it doesn't to be restricted to some simple tab. So I'm also used the cool as the example. So whenever I increase, decrease my elements, I'm holding the shift. Yeah, so let's do object expand. So remember to expand. Actually, the first several steps is as similar as how we create this one. So let's right click on group. Make sure they are all separate. Let's select all and create an outline. Right, so now you see the fill is turned off. Deselect the fill. So let's this time I'm going to use the scissor tool instead. So you may see the eraser first, but as you right click and go to the scissors tool, you can go to the scissors tool, and also you can go to scissors tool by click C on your keyboard, which is the shortcut key. So here is my scissors tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my tab into separate lines. So you can basically you can cut it into how many lines you want. So as you zoom in, you can see this blue stroke, blue path. You can click, you see it has been cut here. I'm also going to click here. So the click means you are cutting using the scissors, cutting something. So as you cut on the anchor point, you may not see the outcome immediately. The reason why is we haven't, so now they're still together. The reason why is we haven't released the compound path. Right click, release compound path. Now you can move them separately in a separate way. Yeah. So my C has been separated into different lines. So also the O, I'm going to use the scissors tool, cut into separate lines. Just to make sure, just based on your own preference, based on how do you want to separate your lines. So now what should we do is the same thing, we right click, release compound path. Now you see the O has been cut into separate lines. The third one, right click. Oh no, we may cut it first. We cut it. So it will still it will still be cutted if you doesn't click on this anchor point. So you can just cut it based on your where you would want to cut it. So yes, I want to cut here. Then let's go to right click, release the compound path. So now you see they are separated in the way I cut them, based on the way I cut them. So the last one, scissors tool, just here, probably somewhere here. I'm just cutting them into random lines. Cut them here. Go back. Okay, right click, release compound path. See, they are separated with lines. Here, here. Yeah, so now what could we do is remember what we did for our first class. We modify our path into different forms by going to the width profile, right? So we can do anything we want. We can change them into different form. We can go to the stroke. We can add an arrow. So we can even change it into a dash lines. So just modify your lines according to your preference. So in this way you can create really something looks really unique and innovative elements on your poster design or other design. Just kind of play with those lines. Yes, just do something based on your preference. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. This one, let's see how they are changing. So they even don't have to be connect as the normal form. So you can place them in a different way, replace those lines to create a really interesting outcome. Yeah, they could be something like this. To be very different as the original form. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so here add something. You see there are different types of arrows you can add to your design. Yeah, so we talk about curvature tool, right? You can change the straight line into a curvature line. Yeah, so if you want to add color to this one, expand the experience and expand. I think now you're able to add a gradient. Make sure they're selected. Yeah, see, you're adding a gradient to what you are doing. Come to Command G, group it so you can move it in everywhere. Next, I want to show you another function. How could you add the lines into your text? So in this time, you don't have to choose something simple. So you can type anything and integrate lines into the text by typing anything. You don't have to select something easy. So the first thing I would do is I want to hold in the shift and I create a large circle. So make sure I want to go back to the black color for the demonstration. So this is my circle. So just make sure you have a number for your stroke over here. Otherwise the outcome may be not correct. Let's click Command C, Command F, means copy and paste at the front. Then let's hold Option Shift to decrease our circle towards the center point. So in this way, now we have one larger circle, one smaller circle. So if they are not in the same stroke width, let's change them into the same width. So I'm selecting the lighter one. I'm using the eyedropper tool and I clicked on my larger circle. So now my smaller circle and the larger circle they are in the same ways between each other. The same thing is, let's go to blend them, the blend tool. If you forgot, just hit W on your keyboard, double click, and let's give a number. This time let's give a larger number because we have more distance between the two circle paths. Let's hit OK, select the first one, select the second one. See, now they are blended. Then let's hit the tab. Now this time I will hit hello. Let's try hello. And I'm going to expand the text. You can go to here, hit expand, Command Shift O, or yes, just make sure you just expand it once. Also, the circle object expand, okay. So make sure you just expand it once. So if you expand it twice, something will went wrong. So let's hit Shift to shrink the size. So make sure your tab is on the blend stroke. Right, you would not put it in the center. Let's replace at the part the lines are blended. Let's select the tab and click on Shift, select our blend circle. So this time I'm going to go to the windows. Let's go to the Pathfinder. So it's located here. You have to scroll down a little bit, and it's above the property pattern options Pathfinder. Click. It's open. So let's go to the second row. Click here, which is the outline. So you count from the right, 1, 2, outline. So let's click on the artboard. See, this is something we want to get. Let's zoom in, but right now is still inside the circle, right? The circle blend. We want to move it out because we only need this part. We don't need the circle. So let's right click on group. So this is a really important step. Let's zoom in. Let's select one of the stroke inside, and let's select this option, which is called select similar objects. Click. So what happens is it will automatically help me to select the elements in the text, right? So what we need to do, click and drag it outside the circle somewhere, and delete the circle because we don't need them anymore. This is the thing we need. We can just hit Shift and increase the size, enlarge. So see those strokes inside. Let's select one of the stroke, and let's increase the width of the stroke. So for the rest of the lines, let's select them. So you can use the selection tool to just select all of them. Hold on Shift. So hold on Shift means you can keep selecting. Hold on Shift and keep selecting. So now I'm selecting all of my lines in the edge, and I want to modify all of those lines to be look as same as the one I just created. So I'm using the eyedropper tool to click on the one I just created. Click. You see now all of my lines in the edge has been modified into the same type of this one. Now let's select the path lines in the E. Yes, here, click, holding the Shift to click, so you are able to select everything. Let's hitting on the stroke. And also the arrow, eyedropper tool. Select everything inside the arrow, eyedropper tool, click the circle, select. Always make sure you are holding your Shift. when you are selecting, you want to select something togetherly. I want to select my lines togetherly. See, oh yes, I lose one over here. No, yes, now I think they're all selected. Let's use eyedropper tool, click here. So now let's see my O is being formed by the lines. So now let's zoom in. We need to get rid of these lines, right? These are some outline stroke, we don't want them. But we do not delete them one by one. What could we do is we select one of them, then let's go to the same thing, select the similar objects. So my outline, though these small outlines are considered as the similar objects, so I'm able to select and drag them out togetherly and delete. So now I got a really clean form of my text blended with lines. So the same thing, if you want to apply color, you can. So what I'm doing is I use the eyedropper tool to click on this color, so you can always change the color based on what you want. Command G, grouped them, and so this is something we created with the blended circle path. So if you want those lines to be really different with this what we just created, you can create some other forms of blending lines. So I'm doing a jagged line, and I turn the color into black here. Command C, Command F, drag another one, select both of them, go to the Pathfinder tool, hit OK, select first one, second one, blended it as a line. So this is a really different types of blending lines. So the same thing is this time I just enter H, but you can enter more things. So I'm just create an example. Create H and make sure the H is expand. OK. Click on the second the blended lines, object expand. OK. So now let's select them all, and the same thing is let's go to the outline selection. You see, this is the thing I got. These are the lines in the edge what I need. Right click, ungroup, zoom in, click on one of the lines and select the similar objects. So all the lines in the edge has been considered as the similar object, so it will automatically select them all for me. So I will click and drag the edge out and delete this part. Edge. So let's select one of the paths. That's pretty much the similar step with the first one. So let's select all the elements in the edge. Remember to hold on your shift. Holding on your shift. Select all the lines in the edge, including this one. Using eyedropper tool, click on the one we first time created. So now we got it. I think we lose one of the line, which is here, and we miss it, so we just select again, click. The same thing is let's get rid of the guide of the small lines over here. Click and select a similar object, then click delete. So now I got the edge blended with lines, and you may see this edge is really different with this edge, right? So there, you see there the direction of the lines, how they like intersect, it's pretty much the different from comparing and their directions. So what kind of lines you want to put into your text, it just depends on what kind of blending lines you got for your when you are creating those blending lines. For this one, if you want to apply with color, always go to object and expand it. So now you see this edge and this edge, the comparison, they are different. Yes, so these are some ways we could apply lines, integrate lines into our tab design, but it seems like it took many steps. Now I'm going to introduce you something that will take less steps and is pretty fun and easy to try. So let's randomly using the line segment tool to create a line, I think it's a line segment. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a custom brush. So I will recommend you to create something that is really long and thin, long and narrow, because we're going to use the brush we created to apply it to our text and our stroke. So yeah, so you don't have to exactly follow what I'm doing. You can create a creative brush by yourself. Yeah, it could be look like anything. Just randomly draw some lines over here, and I can add a shape. I can add a more creative shape. I will add a star and fill with color. So remember we talked about we creating a sparrow, right? We can create a sparrow. We'll talk about that in our first class. So make sure that you're turning on the color for the black stroke. Let's increase the size and add a round cap. Copy and paste several of them. Yeah, so this is just an example. I'm not do it really carefully or really precise. So just as an example, you can do something more better. You can create some better elements for your design. So I'm going to create a round cap. So you can see this little white circle here. Click one, the second one, drag. Click one, first one, second one. You can drag them together. Make sure they are both selected and drag. It will create a path like this. Yeah, so for example, this is the brush I created. Command G to group it. Go to Object, expand my elements. Let's go to the brush tool and drag. This is my customer brush, right? So I'm going to drag it into the brush panel. So no brush. Make sure selecting the art brush and hit OK. You can give a name. I'm going to randomly enter something here, then let's hit OK. So you see my customer brush appears here. So whenever I use the brush to draw something, I'm using my customized brush, which is a really interesting way to create those fun materials. So let's enter something over here and drag, make it larger, turn it into the outline mode, then hit on the brush. No, sorry, I can't apply the brush because I haven't extended it. So whenever you want to modify your text, remember to expand it. You see? This is how I apply my own customized brush on my text. So in this way, you can always create some really interesting elements on your poster. Yeah, so this is the way we're using the brush to create some creative elements. So also, if you want to apply for a color, to expand the experience, and yes, and make sure no, just the outline mode. Yeah, so if you are not really satisfied with what you got, you can just decrease the stroke over here. So you can decrease it into any number, even like smaller than 0.25, 0.1. You will see your line will be thinner. Sometimes it will give you a better effects if you just try some smaller number over here. Oh, now this one looks good to me. So Command G to group. This is how we use brush to create a font text. So you may use this technique for your poster. Yeah, so next thing I would want to show you is let's create 3D spiral lines. Let's right click, go back to our line tool. The first step is really easy. So just click shift, create one lines, give a color to the stroke. I will use the black. Sorry, I said give a width to your stroke. Command C, Command F to drag, holding shift, click and drag another line below it. Select them all, double click on the blend tool. Let's try 35. So, sorry, this time let's try something small. Yes, something small. 6. Okay. Click on first one, click on second one. I got a blended line. And I go to effect, and I go to object and I expand it. Okay. Then let's go to the symbol portal here. So if it's not here, you can go to Windows and find the symbols. Symbols somewhere here. Yes, here it is. Or use the shortcut key, which is over here. So either way, you go to your symbols and drag the blend lines into symbols. I'm going to create a name for it lines. Randomly enter a name. I'm going to hit OK. So you see my blend lines now is a sample. Next thing is I'm going to do right click, drag out the ellipse tool, holding shift to create a standard circle. Let's fill the circle with black, and let's use the scissors tool to cut the top anchor point, the lower anchor point, and hit delete. So what I got is I got a semicircle. Let's go to the window. Then let's go to the effect, 3D and materials, 3D classic, and revolve classic. So there are 3 steps. So then we got this. We got our 3D revolve option window. Let's hit map art. And let's turn them into an invisible geometry shape. Let's hit the symbol here, click the drop down menu. Let's go to lines here. Let's go to skew to fit. So this is our geometric lines showing up here. So remember to hit skew to fit and make sure you click here the invisible geometry. Hit OK. Hit OK. This is our 3D spiral lines. So how to apply the color? Go to the object, expand appearance. Then let's expand again. Always go to the object tool. Then hit right click, ungroup. Then let's go to the director selection tool. Select the first one. You see I can select these lines separately by using my director selection tool. So I can select this one, holding the shift, click, select the second one, third one, fourth one, sixth one. I use the eyedropper tool because I want to apply for this color. So you can always add other colors based on what you want and switch it to the fill mode. So you can always click this icon to swipe the fill and the stroke. So if you are drawing lines, you have to make sure you turned off the fill and you are applying color for the stroke. So whenever you are creating the shape and you want to fill the colors like this, you go to make sure the fill box has been applied with color. So now we get a 3D spiral lines. Yeah, so this is the way we are going to this is another way we could add some creative elements for our poster design. Yeah, so yes, I think that's the end of our demonstration for this section. Hopefully it's helpful.